The Naylor brothers came in huge yesterday against the Guardians. It still blows my mind that the best brother of the three might not even be in the big leagues yet. We're talking about Miles Naylor. Anyways, Texas, they're really happy with their star in the making, Ezequiel Duran, and they got him from the Yankees. We'll talk about that trade later on. And also, we had some more drama that involved catcher's interference, this time in the Padres and the Giants game. All of that in today's MLB Recap, a series in which we talk about every single game, almost every single day. And a reminder, if you're going to any baseball games anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off. Now, without further ado, let's get into the games from yesterday. We have the Red Sox at the Minnesota Twins. Boston, they jumped out to an early lead on a double from Devers, but the Twins, they got that run back and then some in the second inning. Kepler, he ties it, and Christian Vasquez, he stole the lead. Royce Lewis, he was flying around third base. I'm so happy for him because he's coming back from that ACL tear. Every time Minnesota took the lead, though, Justin Turner, he would tie it. There's a 450-foot third deck nuke. Minnesota, they then take the lead, and JT, he ties it again, this time on a single. Max Kepler, he belted his 9th of the year, so the Twins are back out in, okay, never mind. Tristan Casas, he doesn't care how hard you throw. He ripped one to the left field gap to score David Hamilton. That dude also flies, by the way. It ends up tied after 9 innings, so extras we go. Ball game. Cal Farmer, he walks it off. The Minnesota Twins are now just one game from being back at 500. The Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays, Randy Arozarena had to quickly remind everyone that he is in fact him, and Isaac Paredes, he can swing it too. Tampa Bay, they are second in all of Major League Baseball in home runs hit this year. Jose Siri, he used his speed to rush a throwing error, and now it's 4-zip for rookie Taj Bradley, who absolutely carved up the Baltimore Orioles. He struck out 8 batters over 6 excellent innings. He did not walk anyone, which is always fun. Tampa Bay, they're going to cruise to a dub, but I do want to show this home run from Gunnar Henderson. He now has 15 home runs and a 125 OPS plus in his first 98 big league games. That's really good, but the Orioles, they lose 7-2. Tampa Bay, not only are they second in home runs hit, they're second in team ERA. They are really good. The Marlins and the Blue Jays, Kevin Biggio, sorry, I had to kind of emphasize his first name before I call him Craig 3 times like I did a few recaps ago. He doubled in the first run for the Blue Jays, and I got to give a massive shout out to Kevin Kiermaier. I thought that his career was sunsetting, but he now has a 113 OPS plus with insane defense. Springer, he doubles the lead right after, and Whit Merrifield, he makes it a 5 spot on the reigning Cy Young winner, Sandy Alcantara. Now, I know that Sandy did settle down. He actually ended up going 7 innings, so I kind of tip my cap to him, but he has a 5 ERA, and he's barely striking out 7 per 9. He's kind of fallen off this year. I don't exactly know why. Chapman, he belted another one, his 10th of the season, back-to-back games with multi-hit nights. Romano, he has 22 saves after striking out 2 more in this one. Toronto, they are 12th in ERA as a pitching staff and 12th in runs scored as an offense. So what can this team do? On paper, they're really good. Can they win a World Series, or are they just going to make the playoffs and fizzle out? Let me know. All of these AL East teams got me wanting to talk Yankee baseball. Now, I'm sure that Mariners fans are just as confused and angry as I am, because Jake Bauers, he was awful, like very, very bad for both Cleveland and Seattle. And now, out of nowhere, he almost has 6 home runs and a 120 OPS plus for the Yankees. Billy McKinney, he has been playing like a future Hall of Famer as well, because that's just what the Yankees do. They pluck guys out of nowhere, they squeeze all of the juice out of them, and then they DFA them into oblivion. Massive props to rookie Johnny Brito. The kid shoved over nearly 6 shutout frames. I believe he only allowed 3 base runners the entire game, which is amazing. Volpe, he sent one out for his 10th home run. He also took a walk. If he can somehow fix the strikeout issue, he will be a walking 30-30. That's 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases. I love this moment, by the way. Tommy Kahnle, the former Yankee fan favorite, he struck out the final hitter of the game. Everyone was fired up. Now, I'm going to talk about these standings at the end of today's video, so do not go anywhere, but I'm going to give an update on them. Here we go. The Rangers and the White Sox. Nathaniel Lowe, he ties it in the 3rd inning on a double. He quietly has 19 doubles and 41 RBIs to go along with a 120 OPS plus. And wow, did Ezequiel Duran barrel up that baseball. He's a rookie hitting .310 with 9 home runs, a 141 OPS plus. He flies on the bases, and he can play some pretty slick defense at shortstop if they put him there. Remember how they got him, though? They got him in the Joey Gallo trade a couple seasons ago. Brian Cashman strikes again. I think overall he's just a terrible talent evaluator, but I digress. Jonah Heim, he pummeled a 3-run moonshot. He hit Chicago with the check replay celebration because he's referring to the game prior when a call at home was overturned because it was said that he was blocking the plate. So he said, go to the replay on that one. You can't. I hit a home run. So if we take a look at the AL standings, I just want to show the best teams overall. The Rangers are in 2nd place right now, but they have the best run differential in all of Major League Baseball. Now, speaking of standings, the Reds, they keep flying up them because if they win, they would be winners of, wait for it, 11 in a row. Cincy, they found themselves down by 3, but like I've said before, they almost play better when they're losing. Luke Maile, he clutched up. He was behind the dish to give Tyler Anderson, the usual catcher, a day off, and it worked. TJ Friedl, he then tied it up. That dude absolutely rakes. We actually went to the same college. I mean, I went to Reno for one single semester. He also went to Reno. So we have a brand new ball game. Now it's a really new ball game. Jake Fraley, he ripped a massive 2-run home run to steal the lead. Jake now has 21 home runs and 16 stolen bases to go along with an almost 360 on base percentage over his last 127 games. Diaz, he was unavailable, but Buck Farmer, he got it done. The Reds, they've won 11 in a row. I cannot believe that. The Reds' lead in the NL Central got even bigger because AZ had an easy time with the Brewers. Look at the defense for both sides. I do want to show Corbin's Gold Glove play over in left field. He has 1 outs above average at every single outfield position this year. He is spectacular out there. Brian Anderson, he made a sick play over at the hot corner, and after Gallen gave up a tank to the newcomer Raimel Tapia, Arizona's offense finally remembered that they could also score as well. They take the lead back. Rivera, he ties it up, and then Alek Thomas, he's been seeing beach balls since coming back from the minors. Zach Gallen, he was really good again. 1 run over 7 innings, and Scott McGuff, more like Scott tough to hit. He strikes out 4 of the final 6 hitters. He has a 6-out save, his 4th of the season. The Diamondbacks, they beat the Brewers 5-1. Moving on over to the Padres and the Giants. The Diamondbacks, they now need the Padres to vanquish the Red Hot Giants, who are riding a 9-game win streak. Now, we're going to skip to the 5th inning because we had some drama. San Francisco, they went up 1 on a sac fly, and that was going to be it because Tatis, he hosed Blake Sable at home. The only problem is Gary was called for catcher's interference. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I know technically he blocked the runner's path, but I hate this rule so much because, yeah, technically he blocked the path, but are these catchers supposed to be Mad-Eye Moody from Goblet of Fire and have eyes in the back of their head? First of all, the throw took him down the line, in my opinion. And second, and most importantly, the rule states the runner can actually still be called out if it's deemed that the runner was clearly beaten by the throw, which I think is exactly what happened. But anyways, I guess just the baseball gods were not having it, and the Giants immediately capitalized. They scored 2 more on some singles from Mike Yastrzemski and JD Davis. Casey Schmidt, he made a sick play to rob Fernando Tatis Jr., and the Giants, they take the dub 4-2 after Camilo Doval, he struck out 2 for his 20th save. He has a 1.87 ERA and almost 13 strikeouts per 9. The Giants, they've won 10 in a row. The Padres, they've lost 3 in a row. All right, one more NL West team I want to talk about, the Dodgers. They're facing off against Goat Tani and the Halos. Shohei, he was frying the Dodgers early. He struck out 6 hitters in the first 3 innings of this ball game. Then Freddie Freeman, he said, I'll be taking that. He golfed one 426 feet the other way. He just Shohei Ohtani. That was it for both clubs. LA, they deployed a bullpen game and it worked to perfection. They held the Halos scoreless, all while Ohtani was striking out 12 Dodgers. He leads baseball in home runs as a hitter and hits per 9 as a pitcher, which quite literally means he is the best at hitting home runs as a hitter, and he is the most unhittable pitcher in all of baseball. Now, he is going to take the unfortunate L because the Dodgers, they got another insurance run off the bat of Miguel Vargas. That was just outside the reach of a leaping Mike Trout in center field, and then Evan Phillips, he converted his 9th save. So the Angels, I don't think they've scored in the last 18 innings or something like that. The Cubs and the Pirates, Nico Horner continues to get slept on in regards to naming some of the best infielders in all of baseball. He tripled home 2 in the 3rd, and after Ian Happ hit a double to score 2 more in the 6th inning, Nico Horner, he blasted off for his 5th home run. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a ton of home runs, but check this out. He's hitting .285 with 38 RBIs, 16 stolen bases, and 5 DRS defensively at second base already. Nick Madrigal, his 2-run single made it 8 runs on the day, and I forgot to mention that Kyle Hendricks, he lowered his ERA to 2.6 after allowing just 1 run. The Cubs, they've won 3 in a row. The Pirates have lost 9 in a row. Another team under 500 that scored a bunch, the Tigers. Eric Haas, he got it going on a 2-run double, and Javi, he made his 1,000th career base hit really count. He singled in Kerry Carpenter, and then Zach Short, he powered up again. Matthew Boyd, I just want to mention, he was great in this one. He struck out 7 over 6 innings. I think that Matthew Boyd could be a sneaky trade piece for another team in baseball. The 3 guys that drove in runs earlier, they drove in more runs later on. Detroit, they end up with 9 after Baez, Eric Haas, and Zach Short. They all had multi-RBI days. They beat the pathetic Royals 9-4. We maybe have the game of the year candidate end it, this one happened between the Astros and the Mets. Now we're going to skip to the second and third inning because the Mets, they stormed the castle and really took control of this ball game after Houston went up 2-0. Starlin Marte, he doubled in 2, and Vogelback, he made it 4-2 on another RBI extra base hit. All of that just to have Corey Julks of the Astros tie it right back up. And then Chas McCormick, he blasted off. Chas is hitting 370 over the last week, so Houston, they take the lead and then immediately give it up. Vogelback, he won't stop putting the team on his back. He ties it on a huge 2-run single, and then guess what happened? I mean, you guessed it. Houston, they untie it on an Alex Bregman RBI single, and then Yainer Diaz, he barreled up a clutch 2-run tater, his 7th of the season. By the way, he and Phil Maton, they were traded for Miles Straw. They have both been so good this year. Miles Straw, can't really say the same about him. Pete Alonso, he felt left out because usually he's the power guy. Polar Bear Pete, he has 23 home runs now. He is just one behind Ohtani for the MLB lead. The Mets get within 1. And if this drops, it'll be a tie game, and Corey Julks says, nope, we're going to win this game. He kept the Mets at 8 runs, and then Ryan Presley, he closed it out in the 9th inning. Was that the game of the year? Let me know in the comments down below, and also I just have to mention the Mets, they're like 6 or 7 games under 500 now. Now, this is not a game of the year candidate, but it was a lot of fun. We have the next Garrett Cole making his debut. Gavin Williams, the 6'8" flamethrower, he was making it look easy. Oh, God, no, not like this. I ordered food for this game, and honestly, this was my Christmas, and I felt like I was getting socks on Christmas morning when I was 7 years old. Now, don't get me wrong, I love socks now as a 26-year-old, but Ryan Noda, he straight up rakes. He has 8 home runs and a 390 on base percentage now. Just like the Reds, Cleveland, they always seem to play better from behind. Ahmed Rosario, he singled in 1, and then he got some help from Ramon Laureano, who just could not pick up the baseball. So 2 score, and then a sac fly from Andres Jimenez got it within 1, and then do my eyes deceive me? Is that Grady Sizemore? Will Brennan turned into Grady Sizemore for a second over in right field. He snagged a liner in the 4th inning. Josh Naylor, he delivered in the 5th to tie it, and the rookie, he was still out there. Gavin Williams almost went 6 innings, and at one point, he set down 9 ace hitters in a row. You absolutely love to see that from a kid who gave up 4 runs, and then he went out there like a bulldog and almost went 6. Now, the A's did break the tie as Uri Ruiz, that is so hard to say sometimes. He singles in another. Seth Brown, he made it a 2-run game, only to have Josh Naylor pop off for his 9th home run. He's almost hitting 300 with 55 RBIs and a 125 OPS plus. His brother Bo Naylor, he laced one the other way when Miles Straw was actually trying to steal second base. So you have Straw getting to 3rd. Bo Naylor and his brother were pumped up. Quan, he delivered in the clutch. He ties it at 6-6, and then the A's throw the lead away. Bo scores on a throwing error, and Clase, he closed it out for his 22nd save of the season. So the Guardians barely beat the A's 7-6. That game took a few years off my life, I'm not going to lie. The easiest game to recap of the entire day, the Nationals and the Cardinals. CJ Abrams, he connected on his 7th home run. He's on pace to just miss a 2020 season, and he's hitting 350 over the last week. Trevor Williams, he was nasty. He held the Cardinals scoreless through 6, and he struck out 4 without walking a single hitter. Jamier Candelario, he's probably going to get flipped at the deadline because he now has 32 extra base hits, 32 RBIs, and an almost 120 OPS plus. While playing Gold Glove defense over at the hot corner, he has 4 defensive run saves at 3rd base. Hunter Harvey, he has 4 saves on the year. The Cardinals, they almost have the same win percentage as the Nationals. Now, before we end today's recap, I'm going to go ahead and show the standings in the AL. To be honest with you guys, it's actually fairly comical to look at the AL standings because the last place team in the East would be in 1st place in the AL Central. The Rangers are still playing really good baseball, now showing the National League. I mean, you guys can see across the board, there are surprise teams almost everywhere. The Marlins, the Diamondbacks, the Reds. Let me know in the comments, though, right now, what is today, June 22nd, who do you think is the favorite to win the World Series? There are so many good teams in baseball and even good teams that are underperforming that could make a comeback in the second half of the season. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another recap.